Hey, what's up everybody? DL44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so headed out to do my grocery shopping today. Got a little bit of a lightheaded situation going on with all the stomach issues that I've been having. This ain't been a great couple of days for that, so I kind of been in the house nursing that, sleeping in the daytime, trying to just get right, and I feel about as good as I've felt in a couple of days, so ready to rock. I can say it hasn't stopped me from doing my workouts. In fact, I'm on a 6-day streak for my hundreds workout, the squat regiment that I do that I've been kind of inconsistent with. This is about as long a streak as I've been on since maybe since the beginning of the year, believe it or not. So for all the stuff that I've been dealing with my health, there certainly hasn't been a lack of exercise going on around here, not at all. But yeah, man. Of course, we got to prepare for my grandfather's service on Monday. It's going to be 9 a.m. in Fresno. So I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to be going up there the night before, or maybe even on Saturday. Not really sure. I'll connect with my uncle on Friday. He'll be in town. And we'll figure it out. I got to go take my clothes to the cleaners, but I didn't bring them with me because I'm not sure which cleaners I'll go to. So I guess I'll kind of get a scan of the place, the area right now, see what's around, and then take them like tomorrow or something like that to the cleaners. But I think I'm gonna wear the shoes that I have right now on, the Nikes, and just kind of wear a suit, and just because the Nikes are all black, so I don't think people will really care too much. I don't think they'll notice too much, to be honest with you. But we'll see, man. We'll see. And I got a tie that I kept, one of my ties. I had like 50 ties when I left Lenox, but I threw them all away except for one. And I think it'll be the appropriate tie to wear, so that'll be easy going. And I got black button up, so you know that's just gonna be what it is. Maybe I'll borrow the jacket from Tendai, maybe I won't. I know he suggested I maybe get a sweater, but I depleted all my funds, so I don't see myself purchasing anything. But yeah, man, that's kind of what it is. So just getting out, doing the grocery thing today, and head back home and just relax and continue my streak. But you know, I mean, it's been a lot on my stomach. I tell you the truth. It's been a pretty hectic couple of days trying to keep up with it and just struggling with it pretty bad. But you know, got to get to a doctor as soon as I can. And every time I try calling those folks, they don't get back to me, just like the mental health people. So I don't know. It just is what it is. But I just keep on walking, keep on taking care of myself, and you know, that'll be that. Do the best I can. But no free healthcare in America. That's what we know. So whatever the problem is, it better not be too serious, or I'm in trouble. But you know, it is what it is, man. I put it all in God's hands. I don't harbor too much fear about my own health. That's not one of the things that I find myself anxious about at all. Really, just keep pushing forward. But yeah, man. You know, just paying attention to everything that's going on. Of course, in Gaza, the news this morning is that one of the men that were famous in this situation, he lost his granddaughter, and he was famous for saying she's the soul of my soul, and a lot of pictures of him holding his unalived granddaughter and have been going around. And he's one of the more famous figures of this genocide. Yeah, they martyred him yesterday. He lost his life in some type of strike, man. So you know, he's reunited with his granddaughter or his daughter. I'm not really sure if it was his granddaughter or his daughter, but soul of my soul, man. Rest in peace. You know, I wish I knew of his real name, but I definitely saw all the images and saw the footage, the initial footage when it happened, and he was hugging on her and had such the most peaceful way of looking at it, and his faith was so strong. So he stood out as one of the strongest martyrs that we knew of. And you know, I mean, it's not safe in Gaza, you know, for Palestinian people. They're trying to kill them all, man. That's what I want people to understand. They're trying to kill them all. So it's not really about, you know, they'll say jargon like you have the right to leave, but they're not letting them leave. That's what people need to really be aware of, is that what's coming out of their mouths versus what it is they're doing is the opposite. They're trying to exterminate these people, man, as a whole. They don't want these Palestinian people alive. at all, except for maybe like DJ Khaled. It's the only Palestinian they probably want to live, because they can make so much money off of them, that kind of thing. But this is the reality of it, man. These figures are not, they're not out of this circumstance, man. They're in a real hell while we're just walking around, living our lives however we do. They're in a space where they're really trying to be murdered by a whole government of people, 2 governments worth of people. Are trying to not only kill them, but torture them and put them through all kinds of weird stuff, running tests on them, just completely discarding of their humanity entirely. And we've been talking about it the whole time, but no change has come, and it seems like the government is getting away with it. Israel's continuing to expand. It's just a miserable reality that those of us who have been paying attention to, are ultimately in, man. Watching this helplessly as we try our very best to bring awareness to it, but looking at a whole country full of people who could give no cares about it, and think of us as if we're out of our minds for doing so. So, I pray about it every day, and I've gone through the motions in many different phases. You've seen me on this channel talk about it, and this is just another one. You just keep fighting, man. Just keep on fighting, and keep enduring what it is that we see there, as those people have to keep on enduring what's happening to them. And that is really all that God is affording us at this point. So, Israel is doing their best to try to derail us from doing so. America is definitely aligned with that 100%. The government is, no matter who the government official is, whether it be one side or next, they're both aligned with AIPAC, also known as Israel. In their quest to exterminate the Palestinian people and dominate the Middle East, and so that is what it is. But yeah, man. So I pay attention to that as much as I can stomach these days. I post every day, keep posting, keep talking about it, and we just keep on enduring, man. Just keep on going through it. I had a dream last night that was pretty interesting, though. It kind of aligned with something in that way, and it was the gist of the dream came down to me trying to help indigenous people in this country, some Native American tribe that had gotten understanding that they were about to get rounded up and thrown into some type of camp or something, like in modern times. They were taking a specific tribe, and I guess they had it so that they were, all of these people, I don't know how they do it. It was not a big tribe, but they meet at some type of diner or something every day or whatever. Like, they fill a whole place up every couple of days or whatever. I think that's how that works, to come together and do their thing. And I guess what the plan was the government was going to come and catch them all while they're there, and then just round them all up while they're there, that kind of thing. And my take on the dream, my point of view in the dream was to try to get them weapons, try to defend themselves, and in a very covert kind of way. It was very difficult to make sense of the dream, to be honest with you. It was kind of all over the place, but that was the gist of it that I remember. It's just I was trying to sneak them weapons. Like, you got to defend yourself against this. This is going to happen. We know the intel. We're going to catch them off guard. They're going to come through, and we're going to have some resistance there for that. They're not going to be able to do to you what they want to do, and they're not going to be able to, whatever the case may be. So that was kind of what the dream was all night long. Just some intricate plot to try to sneak them weapons. I don't know how we were doing it. I don't think it actually came together to make real sense, but that's what the dream was trying to do. So I don't know. I woke up this morning just kind of thinking about how we allow for people who are painted out to be considered terrorists to go without the right to defend themselves, so to speak, in regards to the jargon that's used by the people that's arming them, this country, specifically our government. And essentially, they love to say stuff like Israel has a right to defend itself, and Israel has a right to self-determination and all that other stuff, but not the Palestinian people. No, they see it differently. They've even used language that allows for you to hear them say they see it differently. Hamas this, Israel, Iran that. And it's like they don't have a right to defend themselves against those who are doing this to them. But if you listen to those who are doing it to them, of course that's what they're going to say. No one has a right to stop me from doing what I want to do. No one has a right to hurt me for doing something I ain't got no business doing. If you hear from me, I'm obviously going to save myself. And that's kind of what it is. These the same people that we're listening to saying they have a right to this, the right to that, and no right to this and no right to that, are the people that are actually taking their rights from them and hurting them and killing them and smearing their image and trying to mold the narrative. So, and my thinking is, I think these people who are being attacked by America and Israel have every right to defend themselves. And it's capitalism that makes it so that they're not provided the tools to do so. It's that they don't have the leverage in this capitalistic world that is the determining factor for why they don't have truths told about their situation, why they're not considered human. It's simply because they don't have enough money to demand the leverage. And I just think that when you look at that being the case, and you see the upholding of capitalism all around us, it trickles down to an entire people not having a right to protect themselves from horrible things. That's what it really comes down to, because we uphold this system of capitalism, and whoever has it says so. The people who have it are saying that these people don't have a right to defend themselves from them as they inflict terror upon them. And it just makes you really resent the whole process if that's what it trickles down to. If it's not a fair process that gives everybody an opportunity to enjoy it, then what does it actually benefit the world to have such a process deem everything be balanced within it, or have the say so of what is fair and what is not? If people are going to abuse it to such a degree with the power that they obtain to literally take rights away from others. And we talk about how egregious slavery is, slavery afforded people the right to at least exist. Genocide just kills them off. Doesn't see any use in even working them for free. And that's really what it comes down to. They're trying to erase these people entirely. They don't want to use them for nothing. They don't want to work with them. They don't want to negotiate with them. They want to tell you who are watching them do this that they want to negotiate, because they allow you to stomach what's going on. But the reality is they ain't have no interest in doing anything but killing these people. And if you look away, they do it quietly. That's the reality of it. And so for me, as I pay attention to all of this and been paying attention to all of this, I just try to raise awareness to you guys of what it is that is see there, and just express to you how ridiculous it truly is, despite very few of us actually getting the full narrative and what the real truth is. Having the bad guys tell us who the bad guys is, and deem themselves the good guys as they do bad things. And so that's what it is that's actually happening there. Israel is definitely the bad guy. America's government is the bad guy. And all of your worst nightmares are being inflicted upon a certain people on your tax dollars while you're looking away and focusing on other things. They're doing this to people, man, in some horrific and devilish ways. And, if you're comfortable with that, then you're complicit to it. That's really what it comes down to. It's no ifs, ands, or maybes. At this point, everybody who's been raising awareness for that has been screaming to the top of their lungs. Either you care or you don't, you know what I mean? And if you don't, then obviously you're aligned with the problem maker. And whatever comes to you, you probably deserve. That's my point of view, and I think that's a lot of people's point of view who's been paying attention to all of this, man. We've been watching kids dying and all this in our phone, watching martyrs and left and right, and seeing the narrative in our news telling us the opposite, and painting Israel out to be the good guy, and all this other bull crap that just really is sickening to witness. Sickening. It's absolutely sickening. And so, yeah, man, that's really my point of view, man. I want people to see the system that we're working under, where those who make the money make the rules, and understand how irresponsible that is for humanity when you see what these people are doing with it when they get to the top of it. When you see what those who are leading are doing truly with the power that they have at the top of that totem pole, you got to understand that this totem pole probably needs to come down. That's what it really comes down to. It should come down. If at the top of it, all I get to do is determine who gets to live and who gets to die, probably not something that needs to be climbed to the top of. You know what I mean? That's not something we should be doing. You know, businesses who may empathize with, or people, wealthy people who may empathize, will not provide weapons because it's not within their best interest within the capitalistic process to provide weapons to those who need it, or to deploy rescue units to their circumstances. They'll sit there and say there's nothing I can do because it puts my capitalistic process at risk. If I save these people, if I help save these people, if I provide them what they need, it's at risk to me. And because we prioritize money and the hoarding of money to such a exaggerated degree, we allow lives to be discarded of so that can be upheld. It's a very flawed system. When the object of the game in life is to survive, we're allowing that to be a secondary priority. Secondary priority to the hoarding of money. And what you end up having is a people that is gone. You know, what's the word I'm looking for? An extinct humanity and a bunch of money sitting in a corner somewhere. Well, that's what that ultimately ends up being. And you keep discarding of lives for the sake of hoarding of wealth, and it ain't gonna be any more lives to hoard the wealth. And that we don't seem to see the wisdom in that and try to reverse that before it gets too far, is something that's going to ultimately bring about a lot of losses because of it. I really know that now at this point. I know that. And every different thing that we do, and we talked about this in my most recent therapy session, about how people will stay in uncomfortable situations for money and put other people through uncomfortable situations for money. This is just another leg of that. People will watch other people suffer in horror and won't help because of money, and will genuinely feel sorry and will pray for these people, and will be sick in their stomach about what happened to them, but will not dare risk their circumstance in regards to being able to uphold their wealth and everything that comes with that. And they'll use that wealth as an excuse to not be of help to others, and that will ultimately trickle down to our extinction. We do that enough times, if enough people think that way and live that way, eventually there won't be none of us here, man. That's what it really comes down to. The object of the game is to survive. And we've allowed corporations and businesses to shift that narrative towards the object of the game is to hoard money, build wealth, and gain what we all agree is considered success. When my mom taught me something in life, she said, too much of anything is bad for you. And I think we live in a world where no one seems to engage in the wisdom where too much money is bad for you. That's like the one thing you can just hoard till infinity and always be in a better space for it. But the reality is, no, that's bad too. Too much of that's bad for you too. And that we're not in a space where anybody with any real voice is actually teaching us that and explaining to us how that can be the case, ultimately will be the learning of the hard lesson, teaching all of us at once at some point. And it's like, if nobody has the wisdom, then we're destined for the failure that comes with not engaging in that wisdom. It's a secret wisdom. It's a lost reality that too much money is too a bad thing. And that you should, at some point, shift away from the intention, the life's intention of hoarding money for the betterment of something else that maybe you cannot see, that maybe you're not being taught in this era of ours. But I tell you the truth, man, human beings are just evolving entities, you know. I feel like I'm showing a lighter to a caveman. I feel like I'm showing a wheel to a caveman. They don't know what the hell they're looking at. They don't know how much it can better their lives, and they don't have anyone around them teaching them that. So they obviously don't respect the wisdom, and they look at this contraption as something to throw away. They obviously don't see how this thing can help them, and they have a lot of people agreeing with them that it can't. So they're gonna probably stone me to death for bringing that sorcery around them. It's just, that's kind of how I feel. We're in the Stone Age when it comes to this. We're very primitive when it comes to certain concepts, and we're so brash and so arrogant and think we've learned so much and have accomplished so much that you can't tell us that we're primitive. You can't tell people that are making a lot of money that they're freaking cavemen, because of the desire to put money over life and how that hurts them in the long run and how that hurts what it is ultimately they're building in the first place. You can't explain that to them. They don't understand that. How it ain't just about numbers. You try to tell somebody who makes content in 2024, 2025 that it ain't just about numbers. You're bringing a lighter to a caveman, bro. I'm telling you. You don't know what the hell you're talking about, and they don't like it. And I feel like that's exactly who I am. Somebody is bringing technology to cave people. The whole world's full of cavemen, and I'm telling you, hey, this is better for you. I come from the future, and I can tell you where this is headed. That's how I feel. A lot of this stuff y'all be following and chasing, and this stuff is for your worsening. And there's going to be a whole generation of people that have to pick up the pieces from what it is that you've done in hoarding all this money and discarding of all these people, and equating how that doing so ultimately upholds humanity and quality of life. But really, you're just deteriorating it. And just deteriorating it for the long term of it all. So that's what I want people to understand, man. That's kind of, a frustration for me in regards to just being alive, period. If I'm being completely honest with people. It's just feeling like I don't want to partake in this capitalist process. I don't want to I don't want to work. I don't want to prioritize money. I don't want to prioritize a lot of this, what y'all deem as success. I don't want to have no part of it because I feel like I know where it's going. And even though nobody around me or anybody in the world I'm alive in today knows that, I feel like I know something the rest of y'all don't know when it comes to a lot of this crap that y'all doing, man. And I see the suffering that it brings about the next generation and the generation after that, if they're lucky enough to survive our bullcrap. I see value in upholding Palestinian lives because I know that some of them Palestinian people could grow up to be innovators, scientists, creators, just like anybody else's lineage can be. Maybe you wasn't nothing, but your grandkid could be something great. Maybe that person was a homeless man, but his granddaughter, she's going to be one of the greatest athletes to ever walk. And when you discard of a life, you give no chance for anything of that nature. And that we don't see value in that, but call ourselves hoarders of money. It blows my mind. Especially when we have so much data of different people coming from different people throughout the course of time. A great basketball player's son might not be that great of a basketball player. A not so great basketball player's son may be the greatest basketball player of all time. You can't put value on life just because of what you're looking at in the person. That person, you can't tell, you don't know what's coming to them. You don't know what can derive from their existence. And that we are so frivolous with life and yet need so much from it is rather primitive. It's caveman of our generation to be this way. It is very, very stupid, if I'm being completely honest with you. So that's really what I want to say, man. It's frustrating to be alive today, watching people discard of human beings, not knowing what they can be tomorrow, not allowing them to be anything tomorrow, assuming that they're going to be something that the next person is deemed they're going to be because this is what we agree upon and we're trying to make money. Like that type of stupidity, that type of irresponsible stupidity is going to be the end of mankind if we allow it to be, man. It's going to be our undoing entirely. And I don't want nothing to do with it. Destroying the earth with the things that we pollute the earth with. It's one of the reasons why I'm not so excited about getting a vehicle. So I don't want to contribute to further destroying the earth. I really don't. You know what I mean? And it's like we just do that as a culture. We do it because that's just what we do. It is just what we do. I watch people forego opportunities at strengthening their backs and their knees, climbing escalators when there's a perfectly good stairs next to them. Nah, there's too much work. There's way too many stairs. But they don't understand that providing themselves that exercise will take away from the problems that they have. As a people who talk so much about how healthcare is so expensive, we forego every opportunity to strengthen ourselves just by walking down the street and climbing up steps. Primitive. Primitive. Allowing technology to provide us a crutch that makes us sicker. Eating foods that kill us, left and right. And then complain about the healthcare issue. Health insurance is expensive. Yeah, so is eating the way that you do. So is foregoing opportunities to exercise. So is believing nonsense that come from proven liars. Like your local news stations as they continue to lie to you about stuff. You know, so it's the consumption of ads. Half of my day, I'm spending watching content. A fourth of that time, I'm watching ads. People selling me poison. Like, that stuff is all bad for me. So for me, it's like, I don't know, man. I'm tired. I'm not gonna lie, I'm tired of it. 40 years of this, I'm just like, man. As I'm sitting here, standing here, not feeling good, kind of like sick, hoping I don't have cancer or something like that. Believe me, if the Lord wants to check me out early, I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh, Lord, there's so much here. It's not. Yes, I promise you, through my eyes, it ain't much here, man. Those people are headed down the toilet, and it's going to be more suffering because of what it is that they engage in the short term than it's going to be success coming in the world, man. So much more suffering, bro. Because of people not giving a damn about what comes after them, not giving a damn about the next person, just trying to hoard money to no end, doing whatever they can for money, working themselves into mental stupors for money, being unhappy with it, not ever getting enough, throwing it away just the same, not even smart about how they throw it away. They go through hell to get it and throw it away at the whim of a propaganda machine looking to sell them garbage. I mean, I'm over y'all, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm over y'all. I'm over humanity as it pertains to how this generation and how it hasn't evolved quick enough to make any sense of what it is it ultimately is doing. It's going to stumble over its own feet and fall off a cliff. That's what I see here. Because it's too evil and too stupid to give a damn about anything but itself. And in turn, it doesn't do a good job of taking care of itself. That's exactly what I see in humanity today. I want people to understand that, man. Everybody trying to get theirs and then complain about somebody that ain't loyal to them. Everybody want to talk about a hater, do a whole lot of hating, a whole lot of complaining. They look around at a world full of stuff they don't trust and become untrustworthy. Look around at a world that doesn't give a damn about them and they don't give a damn about anybody else. That type of stupidity is, I'm over it, man. I am over it. It is primitive. I got a whole lighter in my hand and y'all a bunch of cavemen. Look at the people right now giving their money to Israel to kill children so that they can fill their bellies up with poison that ain't no good for them. The hell, why am I here? That's what I ask God, like, what am I here for, bro? To plant the seed in these minds that ain't paying no attention? So that after the consequences hit, they can look back at somebody like me and say, yeah, he was ahead of his time. What the hell does that do for me? I told you so. I did. I really did. I didn't have it right. Everything that came out of my mouth wasn't always right. Maybe I could have played a little bit of the game to stabilize my circumstance. Maybe I could have jumped into the game a little bit, try to influence the game a little better, but I didn't have the temperament, and I don't right now. Simple as that. I don't have it. And so that's what it is, man. And I was having a conversation with my homegirl Kay, a brief conversation via text, and she was essentially saying, positive vibes only. You know, keep positivity in your head. It's like, I'm not blissfully stupid, people. Like, I'm not, you know, so smart, so to speak, that I'm looking at everything the most pessimistic way and making sense of it that way. But I mean, the basis and the crux of what it is that we're doing on this earth, it's really pessimistic when you consider it. Even people who call themselves the greatest people prioritize money over life left and right, and prioritize their circumference and what matters to them over the unselfishness of helping people they don't know who really need it. It's just like, yo, we're killing ourselves. Honestly, we're killing ourselves. One tribe at a time, one clique at a time, one political forum at a time. You're killing yourselves. You're eating away at your numbers. Just like I said about my own community, as we continue to gangbang ourselves into extinction. As the man, so to speak, continues to coerce us into the point of no return as it pertains to the abandoning of our own morals and ethics. Every time you find yourself doing something you ain't got no business doing, they end up rounding you up and then leaving you with no choice but to snitch on one another. And the first thing you want to do is condemn the hell out of somebody who's snitching. But not the person who's coercing you into those spaces, and not yourself for allowing yourself to be enticed by the stuff that they use to coerce. Over it, man. I'm tired of the stupidity. It's not very intelligent, man. It's primitive. I'm over the caveman bullcrap, y'all. We got a real enemy out here. It's been roaming the earth, stirring up mess, prioritizing money, enticing people with evil for about 2,000 years. You understand what I'm saying? And they say they do it for God, but don't believe in God just the same. Until y'all realize who your enemy is, whether that be the enemy in you, if you one of them, or the enemy that's ultimately trying to coerce you to hate your fellow man all over the world in every little pack of countries that you may be in. They want to stir up this and that and the third, and then cry about how everybody's not sophisticated and how they need to give them religion to help them. We've been watching them do this for thousands of years. And if you ain't figured out that they're the problem, I don't know what to tell you, humanity. You got a cancer, and it's called white supremacy. And until you find a way to extinguish that cancer from your body, it's going to kill you. And that's all of humanity. We need to understand this. And there are good white people out there, don't get me twisted. I'm not trying to say I'm this and that. I know how sensitive people get, especially the ones who are guilty. Oh my God, how you gonna pull the race card, this, that, and the third? Those will be the number one people that are doing the worst stuff to people that do not look like them. Your opinion only matters but so much if you're not open to listening to someone's perspective as they tell you that you benefit from something that's killing us all. That this system that you've allowed to corner you into the space where you can have mostly everything you need and get away with anything you want to do, whether you're able to benefit from that within your individual life or not, does not take away from the fact that that is actually true. That the melanated people come second and third and fourth and fifth in the world controlled by you. And that, my friend, does not make us better as a humanity. As an entire human race, that does not make us better. And if we ain't ready to have that conversation, then we're not ready to survive what it is we've done to ourselves. And that's what I want to tell everybody. Y'all pushing melanated peoples to the side so you can uphold what it is that makes you feel better. Believe me, man, you ain't gonna survive without us. You're not gonna survive without us. I don't give a damn what it says in your book. I don't give a damn what you've been telling yourselves for thousands of years. You are not gonna survive without us. You need that melanate. You need that strength. You need our minds. You need our prayers. And without us here, you don't have it and you don't survive. That's what I want to say to all of my white supremacist friends and family and everybody else that may uphold white supremacy within their spirit and within their innermost. Hear me and hear me clearly. It doesn't survive without melanin. Y'all would be wise to start valuing us. For the first time in your damn existence, you would be wise to start valuing us before you find out what it is I'm telling you is actually true. And you don't have us around to save you from you. That is one of the most important things I've ever said in my entire life. BDF44, I thank you all for watching.